The song is called Nightingale Lane.
This is a song I can't stop thinking about. I've had people recommend this song to me in the comments. And it's not because it's a perfect pop song, which it is pretty darn close to being. And it's not because it went viral, which it did, but it's because of what Raye does with her voice. Specifically when she decides she's finally gonna let us have all of it. The song is called Nightingale Lane. And the reason it hits so hard emotionally is something that every recording artist can learn from. And today I'm gonna show you exactly what that is. I'm Leslie Korsmather. I'm here in the vocal booth with you. And this episode is about the most underused skill in the recording studio, the art of the emotional arc. We're gonna break it down. And then I'm gonna tell you 5 ways that you can apply this to your own career. Welcome to the vocal booth. Quick context before we dive in. Raye, whose real name is Rachel Keane, is a British singer-songwriter and producer, and she burst onto the scene with her debut album, My 21st Century Blues, in 2023, which she self-released after breaking ties with her label, which is incredible. I did a whole video on her background, so for more on her remarkable and inspiring story, check out the link below. That album won her 6 Brit Award nominations and a Grammy. The world finally caught up to what the music industry had been sitting on, and it took her being an independent artist for the world to get to hear it. Nightingale Lane is the second song from her second album, This Music May Contain Hope, which dropped March 27th, 2026. She co-wrote and co-produced this track with Tom Richards and Chris Hill. It was released on February 27th, and Raye performed it live at the 2026 Brit Awards the same night, introducing it to the crowd saying, "The next song we're gonna sing is about a man who didn't buy me a ring." I love that. The song is named after a real street in London, and it's described by Raye herself as being the greatest heartbreak she's ever known. Her experience is embedded in every single note in this performance, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. If you want to understand what Raye is doing on this record, you first have to understand the genre she's working in. Because a soul ballad is not just a slow song, it's a very specific discipline. Think of Etta James and Aretha Franklin. It's built on a specific emotional contract with the listener. You start from a place of vulnerability, of confession, and then you build from there. You take the listener somewhere they weren't expecting to go, and you get there through your voice alone. And that's incredible. It's not about production tricks. It's not auto-tune. It's your voice and your performance. Raye has openly named Etta James as one of her biggest influences, and her voice is often compared directly to Etta James. And if you don't remember who Etta James is, I know you know this song.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song.
And when you listen to Nightingale Lane, you understand the comparison. It's not just in the tone, it's the storytelling. It's the way she inhabits every syllable like it costs her something. Because for both of these women, it did. Both women started singing at church at a very young age, and both women's lives took a massive turn. Etta James battled heroin addiction for decades, and she faced abusive relationships, weight issues, incarceration, and dark periods that nearly ended her career. And she fought really hard to turn her life around. Her faith and her church roots were her foundation early on, and that same resilience, turning pain into art, is what makes her music timeless and relatable. She transformed her lowest moments into songs that still heal listeners today. No wonder the two of them are compared. Go watch my other video on Raye and her background. It's absolutely fascinating. These women don't just sing, they live every lyric. And I'll break it down for you so you can understand how to do the same. So let's get into it.
This is a song about the greatest heartbreak I have ever known.
Look at that room, Abbey Road Studio 2. It's the same room that the Beatles recorded in. The London Symphony Orchestra is surrounding her, and the Flames Collective Choir is behind her. It's amazing. The camera shoots close up and intimate, and the atmospheric color grading makes the whole thing feel nostalgic. It's like a memory. And this is not an accident. Every element of this recording environment is communicating to us. This moment is real. This moment is earned. This moment matters. The stakes are high, and Raye's vocal meets every single one of those stakes. And what I want you to study is the architecture of her vocal performance, because it's a textbook example of an emotional arc, and it's one of the most important concepts in vocal production. Start somewhere and it goes somewhere. So let's see where she starts.
On the street in the South London suburbs, where my first love kissed me,
goodbye. His lips were thin and beer-stained and tear-stained. Was a pain that made me cold and numb. Up to the oceans I cried, I'm made of steel.
Soft, conversational, almost spoken. She's barely singing, she's talking to us. That's a choice, a production choice, a performance choice.
But when I drive down this road, I reminisce.
She's not trying to impress us at the top of the song. She's opening a door and inviting us in.
I drive slow, I'm letting go now.
As the song progresses, the production builds incrementally and the strings enter.
Those times when sometimes at red lights with closed eyes, I tell myself, I dare myself
And then the choir.
to go on, just saying somebody loved me once, somebody will again, like the way you loved me on Nightingale Lane.
As each layer arrives, Raye's voice rises with them. She never rushes ahead of the arrangement. She lets it carry her.
Although we never made it, stranger, you showed me it's true. I'm capable of loving someone the way I loved you. It was right there in June, next to Old Park Avenue.
The production is doing the work for you, and you should let it. Don't fight the production. Don't push harder than the track is calling for. Don't give me everything before the music does. And Raye doesn't do that here. She lets the production carry her.
And in a rain, yeah. It took me long, hard years to get over you. It was an aching I refused to feel again.
Do you hear that? She meets the orchestra exactly when it arrives, not before.
It took me long, hard years to get over you.
Right there.
It was an aching I refused to feel again. And looking back now, we never were quite right for each other, baby.
That sense of timing is what makes her performance feel organic and effortless. And that kind of timing is something that you work out in vocal production sessions.
The absence of passion in my life, I remember how alive love once was in my side. When I drive down this road, I reminisce. I drive slow, I've let him go now.
Her vocal here sits where her richest, most powerful, and most emotional resonance lives. It's a blend of where her voice has both weight and freedom to soar with resonance.
Just see a ghost town, and sometimes at red lights with closed eyes, I tell myself, in fact, I tell myself to go on, just say it.
But we're still not at the climax of this song. This is where the performance becomes something else entirely. The moment that Raye leaves an unforgettable, lasting impression, and she's been saving it.
Right here in this ghost town, right here on this ground is where someone once loved me, and someday someone will. Someone will come and find me, baby. I know it. Someone will love me.
She prepared for this moment to give us a huge payoff. That is an extraordinary demand on breath support and vocal stamina and emotional commitment all at the same time. And I don't know about you, but I get chills when I hear it. That moment exists because of everything that came before it. Every soft line in the verse, every measured phrase in the chorus, every held note in the bridge, it was all leading to this moment.
On Nightingale
And if you remove all the strings and the brass, what you have is a voice that's telling you about a person she isn't over, and you would still buy it. That alone works. And you might be thinking, well, of course Raye sounds amazing. She's got this huge production behind her. She's at Abbey Road. She's got the London Symphony Orchestra, the choir. And here's my answer. The orchestra is not why this works. The orchestra is a frame. It's this beautiful, extraordinary, expensive frame, but Raye's voice is the picture in the frame. The production amplifies what's already there. It doesn't create it. The training, the technique, the emotional access, those are hers. The orchestra and the choir just gave her a bigger platform. And then the cinematographer makes this deliberate choice to have very close-up shots, faces, eyes, hands on instruments, Raye's expression. And it works because the point is intimacy. Even in a room full of musicians, the story is one single person's heartbreak. It's a very vulnerable and a very intimate story. And the production, sonic and visual, continually reminds us of that. And it supports her story. When I work with artists on emotional songs, I want their most emotional takes, as emotional as they can possibly give me. And I don't care as much if it's out of tune. I don't care if it's not technically perfect, because I then bring it into Melodyne, which is a pitch correction tool and an editing tool that I love to use. And unlike auto-tune, I can finesse it and I can protect the quality of the vocal and the emotion of the vocal. And it frees up a vocalist to give me everything they've got. All right, so what does this mean for you in the studio? You don't need an orchestra. You don't need Abbey Road, but you do need these things. Map your emotional arc before you step foot in the studio. Know where you want your song to start emotionally and know where it needs to arrive, and write it down if you have to. Where are you whispering? Where are you confessing? Where are you finally letting go? Don't sing at the same volume and intensity from verse 1 to the final chorus, and record with that roadmap in mind. Give your production a chance to carry you. Partner with the track under you and let it carry you. Let it support your vocal. That's what a track is designed to do. And trust it. Earn that big moment. Save your voice and your emotional output for where the song needs it most. Raye does not give you the belt in verse 1, but she sure does earn it, and it is worth it when she gets there. Work on your technique, your breath support, your sustained notes. These are all skills you need to build. It's physical conditioning. Like I always say, train like an athlete. Give yourself permission to let your emotion out in your songs, even if the technique isn't perfect. And then after all of that, if you need a vocal producer, if you need a vocal edited in Melodyne, reach out to me. As a producer, this is what I do with artists every day. We don't just record, we build a performance. We figure out where the song starts and where it needs to go and what it takes to get there. Raye's vocal on Nightingale Lane is not just great singing. It is a fully crafted, emotional experience that was built with intention, with technique, and with preparation. You can build yours the same way. The link to booking me as a tuner, a vocal producer, and a consultant is in the link below. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your favorite moment in Nightingale Lane, and did it give you chills? Let me know. I read every single comment. Subscribe and like if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. And until then, just keep singing.